Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 3, which is entitled as Karma Yoga, Sloka 13. Yajñasistasinas santo muchyante sarvakilbisaihi bhunjate te tvaham papa e pachantyatmakaranat. This sloka will be more relevant to us. That is, this can be an eye-opener to bring some seriousness in our daily habits, or the same sloka can be ear blocker to stop hearing Gita any further. We hope and pray the later doesn't happen. So in this sloka, what is being told again can be seen in two parts. First half of the sloka and the second half of the sloka. The first half of the sloka says those who eat food offered to God about them, and the second half of the sloka is about those who eat food without offering to God. If one offers the food to Krishna before consuming it, then that food is called food prasadam. If one doesn't offer to Krishna but eats for his own pleasure, then that food is called papa or sin. It is not the action that is called here as sin. Here the food that's consumed itself called as papa, sin. Again, those who eat food offered to God, santaha, are called saintly or good people, because by eating that food which is offered to God, the sins that has been for many years as our enemies will be chased away, so one can have Atma Darshan. That's the benefit of eating the food offered to God, Krishna. And the second part, those who eat without offering to God, not that the food becomes sinful because it is not offered to Krishna, this food is going to take the form of a sin, and that will lead one to hell. So we need to understand the benefit of eating food that's offered to Krishna. It is said there are 5 sins that householder commits. That is, while cooking, while using the grinder, while using the blender or the food processor or a mixie, whatever we call it, number 3. Number 4 is vacuum cleaner or a broomstick or a mopping stick. That's number 4. Number 5 is water pot. These are the 5 places that the sin happens, which means there are chances that the living entities, the small living entities, might get killed. And this is done unknowingly by the householders on a regular basis. For these 5 sins, the Shastras have given 5 remedies, which is called Panchamahayagya. That is Brahma Yagya, Pitru Yagya, Deva Yagya, Bhuta Yagya, Manushya Yagya. So by performing these 5 yagyas, those 5 sins that's been committed by the householders will be nullified. And this is an ongoing process. It's not one-time program, because every day the householders have to cook something, grind something, clean the house, drink water, etc., etc. Therefore, the Panchamahayagya should also be going on in parallel. But by doing this Panchamahayagya, only those 5 sins will go away. Remaining other sins that we've been carrying, they'll be still there. The benefit of eating food that's offered to Krishna is amazing, that it will remove all the sins that keeps us away, or those sins which are obstacles in our path for that's towards self-realization, which is a much bigger than the Panchamahayagya. Just by eating food that is offered to Krishna, making that as an habit, will remove the biggest obstacles staying on our path towards self-realization. That has been guaranteed. While earning money, the aim should be to use it for Lord's worship. When spending the money, one's consideration should be to please Krishna. Whatever one's buying, whatever it could be utilized in the service of Krishna, or should be for one's own self-progress towards self-realization or Atma Darshana. Even while cooking, the awareness that one is preparing the food for Krishna's pleasure, should be there. Food prepared thus should be offered in worship. How much ever one may be hungry or whatever the situation may be, one has to make a point that the food has to be cooked and it has to be offered to Krishna first, and one has to partake that remnants. Those who nourishes themselves only on food that is offered, one is offered to Krishna first, will be freed of all the sins that's obstructing the vision of Atma. But whoever eats without offering to Krishna first, he does not eat food. It is said in the sloka that he eats, every morsel he is putting inside his mouth is a ball of sin. That is to say, such food will only earn him sin. By eating those food, he himself becomes a sin. One more side note that we need to be aware is that just being a vegetarian is not of any use. It is going to help us. It is not going to help us from being free from karma. It is a vegetarian food that is offered to Krishna is what going to make us free from karma. So when you hear this, people should not get disappointed. Then what's the point of being a vegetarian? Rather, I will start doing and eating whatever I want, if that's the case. It is not to discourage, it is to make aware that you come so closer being a vegetarian. Take another little more step to just offer that what you're eating to Krishna first. It's just a very few minutes worship towards Krishna, which purifies the food. That person who eats food without offering it to Krishna is said is no human being at all. He is a very personification of sin. Such is the idea has been given, not only here, in other places of the Shastra. So please understand and pay careful attention and care of what we eat. These are Krishna's words, not Uncle Sam's or someone's who's just coming and saying some statement. Krishna is more compassionate than anyone else we can think of. And here Krishna is giving us kind advices. We have enough of sin already, not to accumulate any more sin by putting things into our mouth without offering to Him. Let us take this as a very serious advice from Krishna if we are serious about our spiritual life and wanting to get back to Him, to the spiritual world. The Vedas also says the person who feeds himself without offering the food first to Krishna refers him not as sinner but as sin itself. That person is called sin, not sinner. Person is called sin because he built up his body by just eating food which is not offered to Krishna. Our saints and sages too have said that a house without a beautiful form of a deity is only a crematorium, and that if a person does not engage himself daily, even for a short while, in service of the Lord at his home, he is only a corpse that breathing, and those material that he has accumulated, not used or cannot be used in the service of the Lord, they are verily poisonous. Therefore, to connect what we have seen so far, to maintain one's body, one needs to eat. For one to eat, one needs money. To earn money, one has to work. And as they work, the work has to be a right work. That money which comes through this work has to be utilized in worshipping the Lord by doing yajna. By doing yajna means one who offer food, and that food, when it returns back to us and when we take it, that becomes prasad, which is used to maintain our body. By eating that prasadam, food that is offered to Krishna, our existence becomes purified. In turn, the finer tissues in our memory are also sanctified. By this way, one can start thinking towards self. And finally, this all will lead to Atma Darshan. The reverse of this is, to maintain one's body, one needs to eat, which means one needs to get money. For once to get money, one has to work. And if the work is not dharmic, or even if the work is dharmic, if the money is taken and the food is being prepared which has not been offered in yajna, then that food which is eaten directly without offering to Krishna, one's existence becomes contaminated, and tissues will not be developed further. Thus, one can never think of Atma, and finally this will lead one into hellish condition. So, one has to take up this sloka quite very seriously and start making changes in life to reciprocate towards Krishna's instruction that he is giving, that I am taking a step close towards you, Krishna. In this way, Krishna will help us to remove all the obstacles in our path, and we can start seeing ourselves. Atma Darshana. Yagna Shishtasino Santo Mushyante Sarva Kilbisaihi Bhunjate Te Tvaham Papa Ye Pachantyatma Karanat. Namaste. Hare Krishna.